What's up? What's up, y'all? Polo Sports Talk and Entertainment here again with another one. Be sure to hit that like. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you're not a member of the channel, and also be sure to hit the notification so that you're able to get each and every one of my videos. Now, look, last night wasn't any question about who was the better team last night. The Boston Celtics, man, they faced a red hot Chicago Bulls team who I believe is a force to be reckoned with, and I have had faith in them because they had a great off season. Several people, like-minded people, said the same thing. Uh, One of the people was my dog, LBZ, NBA Talk. If you haven't subscribed to his channel, definitely go sub to his channel. My guy, AB the Hero. If you haven't subbed to his channel, definitely go sub to his channel. And I can't think of anybody else right off the top of my head. And most of the people said that when the off season was happening, I said this in comparison to what they said. I said Chicago and Charlotte had had the best off seasons because of the moves that they made. Everybody was screaming the Lakers. Everybody was screaming all these other teams, all these trades that they had made, and all this other stuff. Some people even said Memphis and New Orleans, and look how New Orleans turned out. So there you go. They won in the offseason, and it's evident right now. Now I know it's still early. It's only been 7 games, but I still believe that they're nothing to be played with, barring that all the situation goes good. Now the Bulls. Oh yeah, Luda Ryder too. How could I forget about Luda Ryder? This is his team. Go sub to my boy Luda Ryder Sports. This is his team, but he said that they're gonna be a force to be reckoned with. I think that the Bulls right now have a chance to go deep in the playoffs. Now, I'm not going to say that the championship ready, but they're going to surprise a lot of people. But nevertheless, let me just get to everything, okay? Now, the Bulls defeated them 128 to 114. You know, DeMar DeRozan absolutely was killing, 37 points, and Zach LaVine had 26, and Lonzo Ball and Vucevic both, and Dozimu, were in double figures. Dozimu had 14, Lonzo Ball had 12, and Vucevic had 11. Okay, now with the Celtics, pretty spread out. You had three guys that was in the 20s. Jalen Brown, he led all scorers with 28, 3 and 7. Then Al Horford chipped in with a double-double. He had 20 and 10. And Jason Tatum had 20. Marcus Smart had 16. He chipped in with 16. And then Dennis Schroeder, who I'm going to talk about in a whole minute. I'm going to do a whole segment on him. He had 13. Now, after the game, the issue was Marcus Smart being frustrated. Marcus Smart is from where I'm from. He's from the state that I'm from, and he's never been one to bite his tongue, hold his breath. Hey, and he addressed the issue as a leader is supposed to do. Because I truly see Marcus Smart as the vocal leader and the emotional leader of this squad, regardless of what anybody thinks. And he's been that because he's such a force on defense, and he does a lot for that team that does not get recognized. Marcus Smart said, he was frustrated because he's not getting the ball that much. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think he means like every single time, but when you're working hard on defense just as much as you are on offense, and you're not getting rewarded for some of the stuff that you're doing, hey, it's gonna get frustrating. Now we all know this is what he had to say. This is what he had to say. He said everybody knows we're trying to go to Jason and Jalen. Uh, he said every team is programmed and studied to stop Jason and Jalen. I think everybody's scouting report is to make those guys pass the ball, and they don't want to pass the ball. You know, uh, you know. He said that's something that they're going to learn. They're still they're still learning. We're proud of the progress they're making, but they're going to have to make another step and find ways to not only create for themselves, but for others on this team to open up the court for them later down in the game. What he spoke right there was straight facts. That was straight facts. That was straight facts. Salute to everybody in the building. Salute to you, Larry. Larry the Bird, I see you in the building. Monique Chima, I see you in the building. Look, it's highway robbery that they're not utilizing Marcus Smart. Well, he did have 16 points. You know what I'm saying? He did have 16 points. But the thing about it is that if, and I'm gonna get to y'all comments in just a second, okay? I'm up in here trying to do two things at once, man. Uh, Marcus Smart has always felt underappreciated. He wasn't really going to sign the contract extension. I think he was wanting to go elsewhere. He's always felt underappreciated with the Celtics organization, regardless of what y'all want to say. Um, he did for what the cards that they were dealt with last year. Tatum not being, Jalen Brown not being there, and Jason Tatum having to do pretty much the majority of the work, as well as Marcus Smart. But I think Marcus Smart was hurt a little bit too, because I think he got hurt as well as Kimba. Hey, look, he needs to be rewarded. Marcus Smart has been and still is one of the best defenders in the league. When you talk about on ball defender, he's a reliable 3 and D guy. You know, um, and he can get you other buckets here and there. But he feels unappreciated, and I feel where he's coming from. I'm beginning to wonder. I'm beginning to wonder now, and some people are beginning to wonder if these two need to be on the team together. When you talk about Jalen Brown and you talk about Jason Tatum. Now, some people have asked me this before. Who do I think is better? Now, out of Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown. At one point, Jason 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 Tatum was head and shoulders above Jalen Brown. But Jalen Brown had up until that injury, regardless of what anybody wants to say, was actually outplaying uh, Jason Tatum because Jalen Brown is so vital on the defensive end as well as the offensive end too. I've already made a video about that. Talent wise, okay, yeah, Jason Tatum is, especially when you talk about the half court, especially when you talk about the footwork and the fundamentals. He's got him in that. But when you're talking about like the transitional type of game, and you're talking about playing both ends of the floor and being able and also in terms of a team game, a more well-rounded team player, it's Jalen Brown. But now, even though they're getting their buckets, they both getting their buckets and everything. You got to wonder if these guys are they gonna be a good fit for one another, because now it's like, okay, we're going downhill. Y'all under a new coach, and y'all are 2-5, and Brad Stevens, he's in the front office and everything, and I'm pretty sure he did not want to start it. He did not want to start off this way. I'm quite sure he did not want to start off this way. Now let me read some of your comments real quick. All right, you said Marcus spoke up, but he should have done it with Jason and Jalen in private. No, I disagree with that, Larry the Bird. He was right for saying it, and he's already probably said it to them before. These guys are around each other pretty much the out of the majority time of their lives, man. Like anywhere from 6-7 months, man, out of the year. Listen, if they got to hash something out, whether it's on the in the locker room or on the plane, on the court, whatever, I didn't have no problem with what he did. I had no problem with what he did. Polo, I just hope Tatum and Brown don't listen to the noise about who is better. Uh, every team needs two stars to compete and stay together. I don't think they're listening to the noise. I absolutely don't think that they're listening to the noise. I think they enjoy playing with each other, but sometimes you could play with each other. You could play with each other, man, and it just doesn't work. I mean, you could like playing with each other, but it just won't work. Bonichima, you said DeRozan is looking real nice. Yeah, he's looking real nice. He's looking real good, but his Achilles heel is towards the end of games, and when it comes to playoff time, that's always been DeMar DeRozan's kryptonite, pretty much, and LeBron, as well as Kyle Lowry. But I don't think that they're going to listen to the noise, Larry the Bird, because the thing about it is that they still got to go out there and they got to utilize some of these other guys that are out there. You know, I was so high on Peyton Pritchard. I think he doesn't get enough credit for what he brings, what element he brings to the team. I like high energy players. Pritchard, he only plays 7 minutes. And Schroeder, he he hasn't been doing good with the team. Yeah, he had 13 points, but I mean, you could clearly see that he's not a good fit for the team. Now, a guy that I think that deserves a lot more credit, who I wanted, but a lot of people don't really agree with me on this one, is Robert Williams. I think Robert Williams is your energy guy, hustle guy, and then of course Al Horford. Al Horford is playing phenomenal, but you got to be able to use your weapons. These guys are trying to pick up a new coaching philosophy. Uh, got to take that into account. I still feel Bill Simmons would be great fit in Boston if we can get draft picks and young players. Simmons, Tatum, absolutely not. Absolutely not, man. He's not a good fit in there. Much like much like Schroeder isn't a good fit over there either. Their problem is not no personnel, man. Believe it or not, they got the personnel. It's all mental. And when you got a guy like Marcus Smart that works as hard as he works and feels unappreciated, that's bad for the team. No, Simmons doesn't need to be on there. Simmons needs to stay off of the court for right now and stay where he's staying. Because he's battling mental health issues. And see, when you bring that around the team, that's not good. I know you probably like Ben Simmons, and I know you think he's real talented, which he is. But if you don't have the mental mindset to keep everything together, it's gonna affect the team. You're gonna do more harm than good. Look at Marcus Smart. He's like, man, give up the ball. You know what I'm saying? I'm here working my ass off, playing defense, playing 2, 3 guys, and I'm not getting the ball in crucial situations. I'm not getting the ball when it's needed to. Now, some people might say, okay, well, it's not your job. You're not the superstar on the team, blah blah blah, and all this other stuff. Yeah, I get all of that, you know. But at the same token, I mean, he deserves just as much of the reward as some of the other guys, especially when he somewhat tries to make your job easier. Now you bring in Ben Simmons. Let's let's tackle that for a second. You think that Ben Simmons is a good fit? You bring in Ben Simmons, you play him at the point guard, but guess what? You still have an Achilles heel. You know why? Because he can't knock down free throws, and you can't use them in the fourth quarter. And you talking about it's going to be a wonderful big three. It's not going to be a wonderful big three because those guys they got to have an equal part. And if you got a missing part to a car, it's not going to function right. Well, guess what the missing part is? He doesn't want to shoot the ball. Okay, and then on top of that, he doesn't make any free throws. You become unplayable in the fourth quarter. And look, even if you put him in an entirely different position, you still an Achilles heel because dang, what can you do on offense? Okay, yeah, you might get a rebound. Yeah, you might lock your man up. But what are you good for? What are you good for after that? Especially when we need to rely on you in crucial situations in the playoffs. Right. Look, a better fit for them, Larry the Bird. A better fit for them would be somebody who, okay, you already got a veteran presence in Al Horford. You need another guy there that is able. I, you know who I thought was a great fit for them initially would be a guy like either Fred Van Fleet or a or like a Jalen Brunson. I know I'm high on Jalen Brunson, but Jalen Brunson would be perfect for that situation for the simple fact that okay, you're not giving Pritchard a high energy guy, you're not giving him any run. Okay, Larry the Bird. You know who Campazzo is for Denver? That's That's the type of player that they need. That's the type of player that Peyton Pritchard is, like a Compazzo for Denver. You know, Compazzo, like he doesn't mind giving up the ball. He plays defense. He hustles hard. He can not and he can score. That's the thing. He can score when he wants to. You need a guy that don't mind. Like me myself. Like when I play with my guys. Look, I just want to win the fucking game, and that's the mentality. But see, everybody's playing for they self. It seems like, and I think that's where Marcus Smart is coming from. Yeah, you know, uh, okay, you put Compazzo on the squad, or you put a Jalen Brunson, or you put a Fred Van Fleet. I'll break it down right here. The reason why Fred Van Fleet, because you see what they're doing in Toronto. The reason why Fred Van Fleet is so valuable, regardless of what any of y'all motherfuckers say, he can hit the open shot. He can create his own shot and get to the bucket. But more importantly, he's a selfless. Like he doesn't. He's not selfish at all. He can give up the ball too. He can handle the rock, and and he's real feisty and scrappy too himself. The reason why Jalen Brunson would be valuable to that team is for the simple fact that I know that Jalen Brunson's gonna play D. He's gonna make their players fall in line with what he's doing, and there again he got the same attribute as a Fred Van Fleet. Now he might not be as good as a shooter as say like a Compazzo or a Fred Van Fleet, but at least I know he could still score in a variety of ways by getting to the bucket, hitting the runner, and on top of that, he got the same attribute as far as him not needing the ball in order to be happy. And then with Compazzo, it's the same thing as Brunson and Fred Van Fleet. A high energy guy, got a high motor, and then on top of that, he knows how to facilitate and knows how to get others involved. You see how much fun they have in Denver, like how the ball moves, everybody around. It's because they're playing with a guy like Jokic. Okay, Jokic's game ain't pretty, but hey, he was the MVP for a reason. What's up with it, Jersey Deep? I see you in the building. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. They didn't overpay him. Absolutely not. They didn't overpay him at all. He got his money. He deserved his money. You got to think about the situation that they were faced with last year. Y'all go subscribe to my boy Jersey Deep TV. Always bringing hip hop, always bringing entertainment news. Love to talk sports. Kind of like a conglomerate over there. So go subscribe to Jersey Deep and over Sandlot. No, they didn't overpay. They didn't overpay him. They didn't overpay him at all. Matter of fact, he deserves his money. Hey, look, um, Marcus, and I'm not saying that just because he's from Texas. Don't get it twisted. There were times when Marcus Smart, I felt he could have, but the value that Marcus Smart brings, oh my gosh, man, it's tremendous. You looking at it like, oh yeah, well, you know what? He gotta put up 20, and he gotta do this, and he gotta do that, and just because he ain't no superstar, nothing like that. Nah, he deserves his money, and he's a valuable piece to the Celtics. You would love to have a guy like Marcus Smart on your team. That's what he is. He's like he reminds you of a PJ Tucker or uh, you know uh, I'm trying to think even like a guy like Richardson. Now I'm not saying Richardson as much as that value, but you what's his name? Man, what's that dude's name? Play for Phoenix. I forget that motherfucking name. He played for North Carolina though. Um, and then you got a guy like Mikael Bridges. You know, guys that that play deep. Okay, like Evan Fournier. You know, like Evan Fournier. Even though Evan Fournier can do so much more, look at what value he brings to the team. Like he can do a lot of things. Like Nicholas Batum. Earlier, I'm saying earlier in Nicholas Batum career. I don't think they overpaid. That's just my opinion, man. You know, I don't think they overpaid him. And then you also got to think he showed up when it mattered. Now he was getting hurt too because I think it was him, Kimba, and Jalen that had got hurt. You know, they were kind of hurting last year. That's what I'm saying. Like last year, nobody really had any excuses because everybody had their their amount of injuries and their amount of adversity that they had to deal with on their team. But yeah, I mean Marcus Smart, he deserves his money. You know, he's gonna knock down the shot when it's needed. He's not gonna do no more, no less. He's there to do his job. He's pretty much a blue collar, hard hat type of player. And see, some people thought that Marcus Smart was gonna evolve into this guy that was gonna come into the league and be like a scorer and all this other stuff. Nah, he knows his role. And as I said, look, they got the personnel. They got the personnel. Like to me, there's no excuses. It's just that the East man is it's hella strong, man. The Eastern Conference is hella strong this year. But it's going to be interesting to see how they go through this adversity. Believe it or not, this situation is sad because okay, you have friction that's going on right now, but there's going to be some teams that drop off, and they're going to probably because of injuries go through their little thing. That's their chance to be on the come up. Like, look at what happened with the Wizards. The Wizards were like dead last at one point, and they fought and they clawed their way all the way back with the combination of Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook, and they got into the playoffs. Like nobody was even counting the Washington Wizards. Nobody taking the Wizards serious now. And guess what? They're 6-1. Yeah, but we're not talking about the Raptors. We're not talking about the Raptors. Right now, we talking about we talking about the Celtics. I know we're talking about the Eastern Conference, but the only thing, in reference to the Raptors, no, you know what? I did talk about the Raptors because I mentioned Fred VanVleet. I wanted Fred VanVleet in Philly. If we were gonna give up like Maxi or because you got to remember, Slinky YT, there was a deal that was about to go down with the Raptors and Ben Simmons. If we were gonna give up uh, Ben Simmons, I would have liked to have like Fred VanVleet. You said the Celtics can't even trade Smart because of the contract. No, I didn't say that they could. I didn't say that they could. I never said that. I didn't. Listen. You'd be stupid to even try to trade a guy like a Marcus Smart. That's your defense right there. Look, you got Jalen Brown. Yes, he's valuable on defense, but you got to think about what his primary role is. No, and look, they're not gonna get. He just signed his deal. Absolutely not. I wasn't even thinking about that. You said Celtics unfortunately have done a poor job of developing young players. Well, I think I got faith in Brad Stevens. He moved up to the front office. He said I'm late, but I like Marcus Smart with Miami or the Clippers. Yeah, I mean that makes sense. But he's good in Boston where he's at. You know what I'm saying? The Clippers just won last night too. Do you think the coach is the problem? Nah, I like Udoka. I like Udoka. Udoka doesn't get enough credit, and plus he was under the pop. He was under the pop regime. You know what I'm saying? He was under the tutelage of pop. You know what I'm saying? So if you gotta know something. There's a lot of guys that were under Greg Popovich. If you come from under Larry Brown or Greg Popovich, oh, you better know something. Phil Jackson, to a certain degree. Aaron Naismith and Peyton Pritchard, Grant Williams should be getting more. Should be should be more minutes. Oh, Williams, Robert. Oh, you talking about Grant Williams? I know Pritchard. Yeah, that's what I just said. If you go back, Larry the Bird, I said Pritchard needs more minutes. Pritchard, like I said, Pritchard is like those guys that I mentioned. He's like a Compazzo. He's like a Fred Van Fleet to a certain extent. I think Fred Van Fleet is way more talented than Peyton Pritchard, but that's no knock on Pritchard because I do love Pritchard. He's like those guys, or like a Jalen Brunson. Even though Pritchard's a little bit more faster than Jalen Brunson, way more faster, really. But yeah, Pritchard, I've been pushing for Pritchard. That's shout out to True to King TV. If you haven't subbed to True to King TV, definitely go sub to his channel. He knows how I felt about Pritchard. I said, look, Pritchard should play more. I also felt that at that time Taco Fall should have played more. But Taco Fall, he's over there, in Cleveland doing, trying to play. At least that's the last time I knew where he was at. Yeah, you said the Bucks. Yeah, the Bucks right now though they're going through a lot of problems in terms of injuries. You know they're making the best out of a really messed up situation right now. And the teams that you wouldn't expect, listen, this is only giving the teams that you wouldn't expect to be doing good right out the gate. This is just giving them more confidence. Like the Chicago, like the Charlotte, like the damn Wizards, Miami Heat. They were hit or miss. You know what I'm saying? Miami Heat is healthy now. They're healthy and they got pieces. The addition of Kyle Lowry and addition of PJ Tucker were huge. And then on top of that, you got Tyler Hero out there doing his thing. Uh, like my shooters that I had the top shooters that I had right now were Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, Herder, and Bogdanovich. But now you got to throw Melo in there because Melo's shooting over 50%, which was a very slept on pickup too as well. Listen, the best pickups in my opinion, man, were Oubre. It was Oubre for Charlotte, Carmelo for the Lakers, uh, Lonzo Ball, and DeMar DeRozan for the Chicago Bulls, as well as adding on Vucevic. What the hell are you doing? You said, "What's up, Gary?" Those were very very slept on pickups. And now look what happened. Look, I know the Lakers. They're not doing as good as what people expected. They expected them to be like the best thing since sliced bread right out the gate, and it just wasn't going to happen like that. Okay. Then on top of that, you got to realize how much older those guys are. You know, these guys are still relatively young. At least, uh, well, Zach Levine has been in the league for quite some time, and so has DeMar DeRozan. But they're still younger than the Lakers. But those were the best pickups. Those were the best pickups. The problem is not the coaching. As soon as like a team starts losing, everybody wants to start blaming the coach and stuff like that. It's not the coach. I think Udoka is a good coach, just like I think Chauncey Billups is a good coach. But at the same token, these guys got to buy in. These guys got to buy in. Oh yeah, yeah. McDermott, he's doing this thing out there with San Antonio. Yeah, he's doing this thing out there with San Antonio. But you know, Marcus Smart, man, he definitely he definitely had a point, man, and I can't disagree with him. I can't disagree with him. The question is, are they going to come together and finally see what he's talking about? That ball got to move, man. That ball has to move. That's one of the things. And look, I'm a Duke fan. It's no Duke bias. It's no Duke bias. But I like Jason Tatum's game. Jason Tatum's game. But listen, like I said about Luca, you're gonna have to move the ball. You're gonna have to use the team. The Bucks. The reason why they were successful is because they had everybody touched the ball. It wasn't just Giannis doing everything. It wasn't just Giannis doing everything. Yeah, he might have had 50, but Giannis is gonna move the ball. Yeah, I think we're doing. Yeah, Drummond. Right, right, right. Hey, you got a good point, Sonny. I listen, and that's what I said about Marcus Smart, Sonny. He's a true leader. He's a vocal leader. That's what you need to do. You got to hold your people accountable. Listen, and yeah, Drummond is doing good. I like what Drummond is doing. I got to give credit to what Drummond is doing. But at the same token, you got to look at what Maxi is doing. I'm gonna talk about that later. But I mean, he played good. He played real good. He just needs to keep it up. The thing about Drummond, what has always held him back, it hasn't really been. It's always been like he'll play good in the in the first half of the season, and then next thing you know, he'll fall off. But yeah, he did pretty. I mean, he did good. He had a double double yesterday. He was what 14 and 15, and I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, he's a legendary rebounder, but he gotta get that title back. Clint Capella took Clint Capella took it away from him for a while. He led the league in rebounding last year. Nah, they're not the heart and soul though. The heart and soul is Marcus Smart. They're the most like uh talented players, but in terms of heart and soul, what's up? Hey, y'all go subscribe to the boy Luda Ryder. Hey, Luda Ryder, man, I sent a link, man. If you're gonna come up in here, man, and express how you feel, y'all waxed that ass last night. So I know you got something to say about it. Hold on 1 minute, y'all. All right, man. My bad, y'all. Um, you said no. Waiting to talk about how I was right about Baker Mayfield and OBJ. Please, man. First off, they haven't been 100%. Okay. Second off, OBJ is more of a problem than Odell Beckham is. Like the Browns did good last year, regardless of what you want to say. I know you don't want to admit it, Lou, but they did good. Just like you don't want to admit that the Cowboys are good. And guess what? They won without Dak. So you can keep on trying to live in your fantasy world like they're not going to do good this year, but they are. Baker Mayfield and OBJ. Look, OBJ is the one that has to go, not Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield, um, he got that little shoulder problem, but he'll bounce back. Baker Mayfield at least shows that he can improve. And he's tried his best to display downfield accuracy, but OBJ is not the same. Everybody thinks that OBJ is the same OBJ at LSU and the same OBJ that played with the Browns. He's not. He's not that guy. It's because the injuries have held him back. And OBJ, man, is not really that. He's not haven't been known for his work ethic. He's not really. He hasn't really been known for like his work ethic and stuff, man. He's not. He's not what you say like a hard worker, man. But nah, I would never slander the Browns, um, Sonny, because I like the Browns. I like what they're doing. I mean that's not my team, but I've always liked Baker Mayfield. But I'm certainly not going to sit up here and cap and say, oh yeah, Baker Mayfield is trash and nothing like that. You can't be trash and knock off the best team in the AFC last year, which was the Steelers, and they beat them twice. That's not trash. Without OBJ and with Jarvis Landry, and you got to think about it. Jarvis Landry, they haven't you know they're going through a lot. They're going through a lot. But the biggest, really the biggest disappointment, even though they won last night, has been the Chiefs. They over there celebrating with the Giants. Right. Hey, you're exactly right. We understand that this is not last year, but health has a lot to do with it. Just like you said, oh, Jimmy Garoppolo, he ain't this, he ain't that. He's proving you wrong. He's proving you wrong. Well, the question is well, I don't think Larry the Bird. I don't think the question is really not Cam. The question is Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson got a better chance of being signed right now than what you call it, than Cam Newton. First it was the at first it was the Dolphins. Now they've changed that. I think the biggest, but a good pickup was Von Miller going to the Rams. Now, if he went to the Cowboys got a legitimate. The Cowboys will be they'll be in there, and Lou's gonna agree with me because he for some reason that's that 49ers bias, but I'm in Tampa Bay and I'm here to tell you, man, they in that now. The Packers moved up on their defense. The Packers just moved up in their defense on in week 9. Last week they were ranked 16th. Now they ranked uh number 5 if I'm not mistaken. Because last week hold on 1 second. Let's look at week 9. The actually the hey hold on. Defensive ranking week 9. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm about to find this right now. Okay. Oh shoot! Wait. Come on, killing me. All right. Um. Come on, man. This is fantasy. This is fantasy. Well, I know. Okay, the Packers are number 1. You know, Cowboys number 2. Number 3 is the Cardinals. Number 4 were the Bills. They were ranked number 1 last week. We're number 5, Tampa. The Rams are number 6. Um, Baltimore number 7. New Orleans is number 8. Number 9 is Tennessee, and Las Vegas is number 10. Those are the rankings right now. Packers, yeah, okay. Well, and the Packers, they dealing with injuries too. They got a tight end out, and Adams went out too. Really the deep. Give me 1 second. There you go. No. It. That's not it. Okay. All right. Look. Okay. Yeah, it was. They still got the Bills. They still got the Bills number one. Surprisingly, to the Steelers. I'm talking about defense now. Number three, Cardinals. Four, Saints. Five, um, it was the Dallas Cowboys. Six, Rams. Seven are the Patriots. Eight, Minnesota. Nine is the Colts. And 10 are the Pack. 10 are Carolina. 11 is the Green Bay Packers. Las Vegas is 12. Um, Cleveland Browns, number 13. Miami, number 14. 15 Eagles. 16 Cincinnati, and 17 is the Ravens. That's just their defense, though. That's what I was looking for. Their Week 9 defensive rank. But overall power rankings, the overall power rankings, a lot of those teams were ranked much higher. Right now is Green Bay. They're the top team right now in ranking. I disagree with that because their defense is going to have a lot to do with that. But we'll see what happens when Dallas faces them. You know, the next. I don't think they. Oh, what's that? 1 minute. They don't play the cow. It'll be. It would have to. They would have to play each other. In the playoffs. Because they got a bye week coming up too. The Packers. Yeah, man. Yeah, they gonna have to face them in the playoffs. Yeah, but Jalen Smith, I'm wondering where he gonna go though. Lou, I'm wondering where he gonna go.